Hello students and the warmer welcome in this next lecture of the thermodynamics. So students, till now we have discussed about three parts of the system in which the system will be followed to change its state. We have discussed about the first part, second part and the third part also. So in the previous lecture we have discussed the third part which will system follow to change its state from the initial one into the final one. So students, we will take the short review over that what we have learned in the previous lecture. Then we will start our current lecture. So students, this is the diagram of the previous part that we have learned in the previous lecture. So the article was the uncontrolled expansion of gas. So in this uncontrolled expansion of gas, there was a cylinder which was totally insulated by the insulating material, and in which there was the gas was enclosed, and there was the two sections as section X and section Y. Now the two sections were separated by the thin breakable portion, and out of that, in the section 1 there was the gas enclosed in the cylinder, and the other section was full for the expand. Now students, after that we have learned that when this insulated cylinder when will get heated, then what will happen, the gas inside the cylinder will get the internal energy, will get heated, and thus it will increase its internal energy. Thus it will apply the force, the molecule will be applied on the force on that partition which is breakable. And thus if we uncontrolled heating, if we are heating in the way of uncontrolled, then what will happen, as the internal energy will goes on increasing, thus that portion which is breakable will break down, and thus it will cause the final, it will break the portion and the gas will expand dramatically. Hence, as the gases inside the cylinder will get heated and the portion will be break down, so the further there will not be any existence of piston, means that there is absence of piston. Hence there will be, if there would be the piston, then there also wouldn't be able to move in any direction as the whole system is insulated. Hence we can say that the no piston movement is there, so work done will not be there. That's why we can say the no piston movement will be equal to the no work done. For example, we can give this type of example is the functioning of an flatted balloon or a tire. Suppose you have a balloon which is full of a gas, then you have just prick it with the pin, then what will happen, that hole will try to release the entire air which was inside the balloon, and it will expand, it will get heated, and it will just uncontrolled way. So the internal energy of that balloon will be in uncontrolled way. That's why that's the one of the example we can learn of the uncontrolled expansion of the gas. After that students, the second part we have seen is the classification of thermodynamic process. In that process we have learned the reversible process. So first of all we will see the definition of classification of thermodynamic process. So students, as we have earlier had an overview over the thermodynamic process, so we can say a process by which a variables can changed is called as a thermodynamic process. Now what mean by the variables we have also learned. So the PVT means the pressure, the definite value of the volume, and the definite value of the temperature are nothing but the few examples of the variables. So the process by which the variables like a pressure, volume and the temperature can be changed, then we can say it is the thermodynamic process. In this process the variables are changed from the final to the initial one. So those processes are nothing but the thermodynamic processes. Now we will see the definition of reversible process. The reversible process is the chemical process in which the substance can be brought again into its initial state of the phase from the final ones. Means the substance will be first of all tends to reach at the final state, and it will be bring back again into its original state with the help of the chemical processes. Then we can say it is the reversible processes. For example, we can take the example of melting of ice. So the melting of ice, in the process of melting of ice, the ice cube, you can take the example of ice cube. Suppose if you melt the ice cube, then it will be get converted into the water. If you melt it, then after that you can again that one converted into the ice cube. If you kept that water for its a freezing point into the fridge. So this is also the reversible process. And the boiling of water, the boiling of water is also the reversible process, in which if you boil the water, then again it will get converted into the vapor, and if you condensate that one, then again it will get converted into the water. So that is also one of the process of reversible. So students, now we will be looking further for the next part of this chapter. So students, this is the next part of the chapter. The diagram of this next part is popping in your screen. So the name of the article is irreversible process. So in this irreversible process, you can see the PV diagram representation over here. But before that, we will see the definition of the irreversible process. The irreversible process is the chemical process in which the substance cannot be brought again into its initial state or phase by any chemical process. Means this is exactly opposite than that of the reversible chemical process. So we can say, in the reversible chemical process, the substance was able to bring back again its original condition in the final one, but with the help of chemical process. But in this irreversible chemical process, no any chemical process will be used, or it is not possible to bring again into its original phase or original state from the final one. So this is the definition of irreversible process. So as far as the PV diagram of the irreversible process is concerned, the path of the irreversible thermodynamic process is not same in the reverse and the forward dies. Means you can guess, students, that the path is not same. Means in the reversible process, the path was the same one. So in the irreversible process, you can get it that the path will not be same at any circumstances, as it has to be a irreversible process. And students, the permanent loss of the energy by the friction or by any dissipative forces is possible. Means once you are losing your force or the energy, so there will not be retainable. So once it lose, it will be lose for forever. So that is the one of the significant feature of the reversible process. Now students, we will be discussing about the PV graph of the irreversible process. At the point A, you can see the pressure is the PI, means the initial pressure is there, and as the path is following by the point A to B, so the pressure will be going on decreasing and the volume is increasing continuously. So this is the first path which has been followed by the irreversible process. And the second one is, there is a straight line between the B to A. There is a straight line between the B to A, you can see directly. So these are the two different paths. In the second path, you can see the volume is also goes on decreasing and the pressure is also increasing. Means in the second part, the volume is goes on decreasing and the pressure is increasing. Thus we can say, so the second path which has been followed by this state of the B, you can see that it is directly toward the A, and the volume is goes on decreasing and the pressure will be goes on increasing. So these are the two different paths which has been followed by this irreversible process. So we can say the energy is completely lost, it cannot be retained, and the paths are too different and it will not be regained again in its final state. That's why we can say this is the irreversible process. Now students, we will be see the cause of irreversibility. The first cause is the process like a free expansion explosive chemical reaction takes system to non-equilibrium state. Means this is the first reason. Means a process like expansion and the explosive chemical reactions. Expansion means, students, as you will prick the balloon with the pin, then what will happen? In the same state or with the same you can say with the same intensity, that air will not be blown again into the balloon. So that is the one of the example. And the second one is explosive chemical reactions. Explosive chemical reactions means the reaction in which the explode is occurs. So in that, again, that explosion cannot be bring again into its initial state of the substance which are taking part into that for particular reactions. So these are the examples or the causes of the irreversibility. And the second one cause of irreversibility is the friction, viscosity, dissipative forces. Means the friction, due to the friction there is a loss of energy, and viscosity will also cause the loss of energy and the impact of forces. amount of forces will lost during the friction and the viscosity. And the dissipative forces mean forces which are using or which are losing the energy at other for the other reason than that of the reason that we are going for the particular process. So students, these are the two main reasons of irreversibility. Now we will see the assumptions for discussion of thermodynamic processes. So the first assumption is the most of the thermodynamic processes are reversible. Means as far as the thermodynamic processes are concerned, most of them are reversible. So there will not be any irreversibility. That's why this is the assumption. Now the second one is they are slow. Means the most of the thermodynamic processes are slow. This is the second assumptions that we have to assume while we are going to discuss about the thermodynamic process. And the third one is it undergoes infinitesimal change at every stage. And fourth one is the system is in thermodynamic equilibrium at every stage. So those are the four assumptions that we have to assume while we are going to perform the thermodynamic processes. Now we will see the next part of this lecture, that is the next type of process, that is third type. So students, before we move further part of this lecture, the three assumptions are remain here of the irreversible processes. That the fifth assumption is in all process system is involved ideal gas enclosed in cylinder with the movable frictionless and massless piston. So this is the fifth assumption that we have already saw in the number of examples, that the piston should be massless, movable and the frictionless. And the sixth one, it is the walls of cylinder may be good thermal conductor or thermally insulated. So these are the two either or conditions, that it may be the thermal conductor or maybe the thermal insulated, means there will not be transfer of heat. So these are the two conditions we have to just consider in this sixth assumption. Now the last but not the least, so the last one is the ideal gas equation is applicable to the system. So what is the ideal gas equation? So it is nothing but that PV is equal to nRT. So when we will be studying that one, I'll explain in detail. So now we will be moving to the next process, that is a third process, which is isothermal process. So students, you can see the graph of PV diagram, how it is in curve shape. But before that, we will see the definition of the isothermal process. The process in which the change in pressure and volume takes place at the constant temperature. That process is called as a isothermal process. So we can get it very easily. The process in which there will be change in pressure, there will be change in volume, and both the changes are takes place at the condition of constant temperature, then we can say the process is the isothermal process. Means the delta T is equal to 0. For example, melting of ice at a constant temperature is an isothermal process. Means when the ice is melting, then there is a constant temperature, and while its pressure is also changing and the volume is also changing, but the temperature is constant, then we can say it is the example of isothermal process. Now the next one is thermodynamics of isothermal processes. Temperature of the system is constant, that it obeys the Boyle's law. Now, so students, let me tell you that as far as the Boyle's law is concerned, the changes are occur at the temperature which is constant, at the constant temperature. Now the equation of isothermal state change, PV is equal to constant. So you can see the PI, PF and the VI and the VF are variables of the system which lies in initial and the final states. Now PIVI is equal to PFVF is equal to constant. So now let's consider the isothermal expansion of ideal gas. Then it will be the work done will be small amount of work done may be there. dW is equal to PdV, means small amount of work done will be exist in the form of a pressure into product of small amount of increase in volume. So that will be the work done. Now the work done will bring about the expansion Vi to Vf, means this work done will be cause for the expansion which will from the Vi to Vf, and this work done we can give as the integration of PdV from the limit of Vi to Vf. So this is nothing but the expression we have saw for the isothermal process, the definition, PV, and the expression for the isothermal process. So students, this was the all about for the this lecture. Now the left of the part of this chapter we will discuss in the next lecture. So there will be the few processes that we have to discuss. So we will meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much, students.